Welcome back, family. Timo Hani here. I'm your host, Rich, and we're going to be looking at the cover price top 20 for today's date of January 27th, 2025. Look, I had to think about the fact that today is the 27th. I did not have to think about the fact that today is absolutely a Monday. It's been a Monday all day long. It's like the definition of Monday. Yuck. I'm going to be actually glad when I put my head down on a pillow tonight and look forward to Tuesday. Okay. So we've got 25 Perez has already checked in, and so has Robert Monroe. Good evening, Rich and the Coconut family. Well, good evening to you guys as well. So we've got some pretty interesting books on the list. We've got some books that have been here for a while. The book that suddenly appeared at number one on the list is completely off the list, as I had a feeling it would be. And we have a brand new book at number one that wasn't on the list at all last week, and I got a feeling it'll be gone again next week as well. Um, One thing that's I did want to point out was there's a book that has been on this list for week after week after week, and it's not on the list at all. And I'm just going to say it now because I might forget later on. Absolute Batman number one is not on the list, nor is Absolute Wonder Woman or Superman or any of the absolutes. So they're taking a break this week from the list. And a few books on here, I'm like, I wish I would have. How did I miss not buying these? Because if you know me, you know I should have gotten them, but I didn't because I don't know what the heck happened there. All right, so I believe that I have yammered on long enough. Let's hit this list, shall we? Boom, coming in number 20. We've got Captain America, number 354. This is the first appearance of U.S. Agent John Walker. This book did pop up quite a bit when the Falcon and Winter Soldier series came up, and of course, now we know he's in the Thunderbolts movie, which is going to be coming out this summer, and I've got some high hopes for the movie. Kenneth Bird checking in. Hi to everyone who is here tonight. Happy, hi to you, sir. To you too, sir. Sorry, it's a Monday. All right, let me just say this. I don't like the character. I hate the character. And it's not that I think the character is poorly done. I just hate him. I hate him. Which is and the fact that I hate him so much and it's a fictional character shows you how good a job the actor is doing in this. So kudos to him. And I know it's written in a way that you're supposed to dislike him. Well, mission accomplished. It's one of those characters. Yeah. Anyway, we've got $275 for a 9.8. It's actually up a bit. And it's a 1989 book, so it was pretty heavily printed. This is a direct sale. I think there is a newsstand edition of this as well. There's a facsimile, a Mark Jewelers, and a newsstand, of course. Now, one thing I will say is if you look at the amount of black on that cover, 9.8s are not going to be that easy to come by. But that being said, it's still 1989. This is right in the heart of when stores were bagging, boarding, taking care of books. And I just can't imagine there being that few of them that 9.8s garnish that high of a number when a 9.6 is only $68. We've already gotten the trailer, so I think that this book has peaked for the reason it's peaked right now. I don't see anything happening in the movie which is going to make this go up anymore. So I would just hold off on this. It's getting a new wave of price peak because of the trailer that drops, and the movie coming up. People are looking past the new Captain America, Brave New World, and I guess they're counting on this. I don't see this as I don't see anything happening in the movie which is going to give this a second peak. I think right now it's at its high point for 2025, and I would just personally hold off and wait on that. Coming in number 19, we've got Wolverine issue number 4 from last week. It's the Red Band edition. Don't these 1 in 25 Red Band editions always seem to jump up? We have it's a Tales of the Crypt number 22 homage. Again, it's a cool looking book. You've got Sabretooth, Omega Red, Deadpool on the cover. So it's not the greatest cover here, but we do have the first appearance of the son of Colossus, and that is an unnamed character. From what I hear, the the introduction of the X-Men into the MCU, going into the mutant saga, and everything that's going on with the Secret Wars coming up, they're going to be bringing these characters in. But from what I understand, they're going to focus around Colossus, not Cyclops, not Storm, not. And he's going to be the center of it, which is odd to me. I never really considered him to be the centerpiece of the X-Men. He's the muscle, he's not the brains. So I don't know if that's going to work or not. If it does, though, and they have that character in there, this book may have some interest long, 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 long term. Not now, though. I mean, we're talking years from now, this book might go up, but I don't think so. All right. That being said, the 1 in 25 is sold as a raw. It's a pre-sale for $50. It is currently selling for 23 to 29. So right about ratio, which shows that people are not spending $150 on these 1 in 25s anymore. Good. And even that, I think that this is actually even going to drop further. It's too many people are buying the Wolverine books. It's not like stores didn't buy 25 copies to get this. So, and I don't think that the first appearance of the Son of Colossus is really going to have that big of a deal. So, for me, it's a meh. If you bought one for 25, it might go down to say 18, 20. It's not going to drop down to 5. So, if you want to take a chance on it, it's your own money. I'm not going to say what to do. I personally, that wouldn't be my strongest pick of the week. Number 18, we have the Mark Spears Monsters, issue number 1, third printing, 1 in 20, Nightmare on Elm Street homage. This was on the list last week. And again, this one just immediately, as soon as I saw this, I'm like, not that great a cover. And this one just screams to me as one of the Stray Dogs covers that sold really hot and now is not worth the paper it's printed on. It's a third printing, so it came out in January. Everybody already knows that Mark Spears Monsters is hot by this point. Everybody's pre-ordering this. There's going to be a ton of these copies. People probably ordered multiples, and I just don't see it holding value. $68 for a raw, $62 for a near mint. In November, it was $100. I see it's down 3%. I expect this to continue to drop and probably settle around ratio or maybe a little bit above, maybe like 20 to 25, but that's about it. I don't see this going up anywhere. I'm sorry, guys. Number 17 on the list, we have a different Mark Spears. This is issue number 2, the cover A. Now, this one came out in November, and if I'm not mistaken, the cover A of Mark Spears Monsters of number 1 came out in September. So it was like 2 months before issue number 2 came out. People weren't able to pre-order this based on the hype of issue number 1. So while there were some people that got this, it's not like a lot of people were pre-ordering it. It's very similar, I think, to like Something is Killing the Children number 2, whereas Something's Killing the Children really didn't start to level off on the individual issues until like number 10. I think Mark Spears Monsters is I'd say issue 3, everybody that wanted to be on board is on board. Everybody's ordering, but issue 2 has still got some people catching up. So I think that we have copies that I think the supply and demand is still not quite evened out. 9.8 sold. The last sale on this, it says $100, but that was back in December. That was a month and a half ago. 9.8, high grade raws are going for $25. I think you'd probably, if you found the 9.8 right now of issue number 2, cover A, you'd be looking at closer to like 125 to 130. So this book may go up a little bit more, but will only sustain the value if very similar to Something is Killing the Children, the story is good. People like it. People want to keep reading it. Okay. If not, then this will not have legs. So 25 for a high grade raw. It's not the worst investment, and on a hot list, it's actually probably a decent one considering some of the others. 2019, 18, 17, 16 on the list. We have Omega Men, number 3, first appearance of Lobo. This is pretty much settled now into a price range. Um, I see 366. Last sale of it was for 385. Now I don't know the shipping on that. Maybe that had free shipping, whereas the 366 books are selling for would have say $20 shipping, which in the long run it's about the same price. So you got to factor into shipping. The cover price doesn't do that. It just looks at the sale price. High grade raws are just getting really out of hand here. Near Mint Plus for 192, Near Mint regular 9.0 to 9.4. Okay. For $150, somebody just paid for a high grade raw. Now you could have just say if it's 9.0 to 9.4, let's take the high end range. Go buy yourself a 9.4. The last sale was $130. You know it's at the high end range of the near mint. Crack the dang thing open and save $20. Crack it. Say carefully, otherwise you're going to lose the money. But why would you pay $150 for a book that might be as high as a 9.4, but you can get it already graded at a 9.4 for $130? So that I think is just ridiculously priced. If those near mints are selling for $120 to $150, I expect that 9.4 range to jump up, 9.6 range to jump up. Now, as far as the investability on this, okay, I think this book is going to die down until, September, October, November is going to be a low point, which is not really going to be that low, but your best chance to try to buy it. Unless, okay, we know we're getting a cameo of Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow in the Superman movie in the summertime. We know that they're already started filming Supergirl and they're going to be coming out with this next summer. If for any reason that Supergirl cameo has a cameo of Lobo also in the Superman movie, this book is going to go, it's going to have a spike. And then you're going to have a real tough time trying to find a low point between that cameo in the summertime and the first trailer or even set photos that are being leaked out. Can you imagine though, if the Superman movie does not do well, what's going to happen to all these DC books? It's scary. So there's so much pressure and everything that's on James Gunn right now. I would not want to be him. So if you really haven't gotten this book, I think your best chance is to try to wait till around October before any kind of set photos or any trailer information for the Supergirl movie pop out. The only thing that's going to kill that is if there is during the Superman movie, like I said, an end credit scene, any kind of thing that has Lobo in it, Jason Momoa, at which point, boom, this is going to respike. So just try to be frugal, watch your shipping costs, and try to find a bargain. Next up on the list, we have Crossed, issue number 0 from Avatar Press. This was on the list a few months ago, and I think it's all because of option news. They're making it into something. Highest price was July 24th for a 9.8 for $375. For some reason, this is back on the list, but the 9.8 is the last sale was back in November for $192. So I don't know why this is honestly on the list. I've got 118 total recorded sales. Near mint copies are going for $35. I'm going to take my chance trying to find and that's just today. I'm going to take my chance trying to find a near mint copy and send it in for grading instead of spending $200 or $300 for a 9.8. Again, this is only going to do anything if it's good. If it's Paper Girls, we're in trouble. So name one TV show. I can't believe The Cross is being made into a movie. I got the first few issues and stopped it because it was getting too disturbing. Well, isn't that what audience is looking for these days? But name me one TV show, and I mean one, where the books have maintained value after the show ended. I mean, Walking Dead is nowhere near what it was. Sandman, It's down. Uh, Last of Us, down. The ones that even don't hold value in the first place, Jupiter Ascending or The Old Guard, Paper Girls, like I said before. So when the show is there, it'll be hyped up, but once the show ends, it's not going to hold value. And honestly, there's so many great books out there that I would not be spending $200 on this book when I know there are so many other great books that I would rather have for $200. I mean, right now, if you get, you can actually make a good deal, get a low grade, and I mean like a 2.0. But you can get a first appearance of Black Panther and Fantastic Four for 200 to $250. I'd much rather have that than this. Just me personally. So, yeah, I would just personally avoid the book. Okay, like we haven't seen a Mark Spears Monsters book before. We got another one. Issue number 3. This is the Bird City Comics. It's a pre-release. It's coming out this week. The Bride double-sided, limited to 600. I like the cover, but it's 600, and I know there are other books that are limited to lower copies, like that Jaws cover. I think it is 450. I'd rather have that one. This is slightly trended up. The 9.8's selling for 135 a couple days ago, and the Raw is selling for 65. Now there's that Jaws cover scene. Generally, the store variants, I don't think they're a great idea, but Bird City Comics has had a few winners in the past. So, Red Sonja versus Army of Darkness match. Mark Spears looks amazing. Anybody who makes a call out to Army of Darkness is my friend. These are her boomsticks. But I got the homage to Amazing Spider-Man 601, and personally, I like that cover better than this, and I think it's a more popular cover. Also, that book has gone down from its $100 to $110 to 70 now, $65. I expect the same on this to drop from 65 to around 45, and I would wait to get this at more like the $40 to $45 range. By the way, just so you know, I do intend to get this cover. This cover is cool. Didn't think the Army of Darkness until now, though. I'll swallow your soul. I'm gonna have to put this right next to an Army of Darkness and try to. Oh man! Oh whoa! Can you imagine? And he signs. Can you imagine getting this signed by Bruce Campbell with the remark, "Lady, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to ask you to leave the store." Okay, now I want it. I want it. Oh, jeez. Who the hell are you? All right, next on the list. I've practiced saying this 15 times. I'm still messing it up. Pinacopolis. Pinapocalypse. It's like a pin-up apocalypse. All right, this is a massive comic, which is from Whatnot. And they've had a couple of books that have done better than I expected them to. This is the 1 in 10 variant, and it's selling for 15. So 1.5 times ratio. Meh. One thing I find interesting is that the cover A is still selling at $5. All these other ones, $4, $5. The regular issues are selling for right at cover price. So if the story itself was great, you'd at least see some kind of movement on the cover A, which you're not. There are some great covers here. But Evil Dead, there we go. I don't think that this is really gonna go anywhere. I don't know. I haven't heard anybody talking about it. It's not like say, hey, did anybody read this? Nobody talks about it at all. So I see the current trend is already down 3%, even though it only came out a week ago. The 1 in 10 is selling for less than double ratio. There's higher ratios on the list as well, and there's a couple more still coming up. To me, it's a and I don't care anything about it, and I don't think $16 is where I would want to spend my money, and I don't think it's going to hold that value either. Next up, we have Ultimate Wolverine #1. This is from 2 weeks ago now. um, this is the cover A, which is the first full appearance of Earth 6160 Wolverine. I picked up cover A yesterday out of curiosity. The You're gonna make me say it. The Pin-Up Apocalypse cover A or the Ultimate Wolverine. So I assume it's the pin-up because I just have a hard time saying it. Um, did you read it and was it worth it? Well, did you enjoy the story? Um, a few of these these comics have done well, like the Ultimate Spider-Man, stuff like that. But the Ultimate Spider-Man really took people by surprise. I don't think this one took people by surprise. I think everybody pre-ordered this. Pin Apocalypse. Bastard. Haven't read it yet. Have you seen that cover yet? The Red Sonja versus the Army of Darkness. Whoa. I thought you were referring to uh the Mark Spears monsters as reminding you of Red Sonja versus Army of Darkness. No, I have not seen that. And when we hit the halfway point, I will try to find that book and show everybody. Okay, now you got me very, very curious about that. I got the Ultimate Wolverine Omega Red cover. Okay, cool. We'll jump back onto this. I got the cover A and the Lee Bermejo cover. There's the Omega Red cover. Yeah. Let's see it. Yeah, a bunch of these are really good covers. But anyway, I think that everybody ordered this one, so it's not going to be supply demand enough to drive it up. But still, if the story is good, it will go up. And as a result, wow, look at that, down 15%. It's still selling for above cover price, which is decent. Somebody paid 120 for a raw. That's got to be for a ratio, not a cover A. Please tell me they didn't pay that. $60 for a pre-sale of a 9.8, and the near mint pluses sold for $6, but the near mint sold yesterday for $10. I think $10 is about where this book is going to be for a long, long time. I don't see it going up. I don't see it going down. I just see it being on more than cover price. 2019, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. One more book and we're at the halfway point. And it's another Wolverine. It's Wolverine issue #4. Now, this is the regular issue of the one that had that red band earlier. This is the Marvel versus Capcom cover. And I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of the Netties or whatever. And we have one of those coming up. So there's another fun thing I can't pronounce. This book is down 12% already since last week. Let's see, 9.8s were pre-selling in November. Pre-selling in November? Yeah, pre-selling because it didn't come out till December for $47. There have been no sales since, and $25 2 days ago for a near mint. Can't go by the near mint plus because that was back in December. $8 for a very fine. What was this selling for last week or so for a near mint? That's slab. Don't want to see raw. Thank you. The 25, 25, 28, 5, 25, 25. Seems like 25 seems to be the highest price. I just don't see it holding it. These homages to video game ones rarely ever do. And I just don't think it's a good idea to put money into this book right now. If you really want it, wait a couple months. It'll be down to 10. Okay. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to take a 20-second break so I can say thank you to all the people that help support the channel. by becoming either a Patreon member with the description um, in the the link is in the description, or by being a YouTube member, not just a subscriber, which you can do by just clicking down below. And we have a new member on that list, which I forgot to put on sooner, but Dagger Cards is now a YouTube member as well. So uh, everybody have a chance to take a look at this while I quickly try to find a with the cover of Red Sonja versus um, Army of Darkness. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay, I'm looking it up right now. It's going to be released in April. I'm not seeing any covers of it yet. Crossover to launch in April. Okay. Well, I mean, if you think about it, it's pretty close to the time period from the Army of Darkness one. Uh yeah, I'm gonna have to pre-order that. And I'm not a fan of Red Sonja. I just never read it, never cared. Didn't even like it or her character too much in the Conan movie. So I wasn't Red Sonja. It was that Belit? Well, anyway, this is going to be another one of those ones that everybody's going to order, though. So don't buy this to read it. Don't worry about buying it for investability. Uh, it's on the League of Comic Geeks. Yeah, everybody's going to know about it. Everybody's going to order it. Um, oh, okay. Let's see if I can find it. Images. I don't think that's it. She's wearing sneakers. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about it. Nothing on all the pictures I'm seeing. Army of Darkness versus Reanimator versus Ash, Bruce Campbell. All right. I don't see it, and I don't want to waste everybody's time trying to look for it. Although looking for something that is um, verse about the Army of Darkness is not really wasting people's time. So, but what we got to do though is get into the top 10 of this week's list and really just bring it on home, shall we? Coming in at number 10, we have Daredevil number 11 from 2016. This is the first appearance of Muse, and we know this character is going to be coming in the Daredevil series, which right around the corner. It's in March. We're about 2 months away. I am so looking forward to this. I'm like re-binge watching the Daredevil series, the Punisher series, and I'm I'm really looking forward to this. Sorry, like I said, it's Monday. You can see it right here. I've got my copies of 11 and 16, first cover appearance of Muse as well. They're both at a 9.6. I wish they were 9.8s, but that's not the grade I got. But this book itself, we've got it's showing a trending up a little bit. 9.8 is selling for 300. 9.6 is for 138. I would love to see this go higher. However, I don't think so. Well, this one's tough to figure out, and here's why. Muse is not like Green Goblin. It's not like what do you call it? Kingpin. It's not like even Craven. Okay, there are a lot of people that have heard of all these characters that aren't really into comic books. Okay, Muse is not a character that your person that doesn't read comic books knows about. Although there are a lot of people that watch these shows and watch the movies. And right now, you, me, we all know about Muse, and we're like, should we get a copy or whatever? Once the series starts, and if Muse is really as well written as I'm hoping it's going to be, I think a lot of people are going to be like, who the heck is this guy? I got to get this guy's comic book. And I think we're going to have a spike on this book during the season, whatever. If they follow true to the comic book, though, Muse dies. Okay. Um, by the end of the series, I think this book is going to tank, no matter how well it's written. If they follow true to the comic and they kill him off, then I think this book is going to drop a lot. So there's a chance this book could continue to go up a bit. It's at peak around April, but by the end of the season, I think this is really going to be much lower than it is right now. So long term, don't. And I wish I'm wrong because I've got the books right here. Right. Why do I have such a hard time pointing backwards? Here, here. I want them to do well, but I just don't think they're going to. Next up on the list, how did I miss a Godzilla book? Dudes, how did I miss a Godzilla book? What did I do wrong? Godzilla's Masterpiece Theater from last week. Oh, that's how I missed it from last week. There were no dang books in the store last week. Jeez. Godzilla Masterpiece Theater, issue number 3, the retailer incentive 1 in 10. Now, I look at this cover and I'm like, I don't like it. Maybe I do like it. No, I don't like it. Maybe I do like it. I can't decide. I'm like flip-flopping back and forth. But it's a Godzilla book, so in the long run, I'm going to wind up trying to get it. It's a 1 in 10, and it's only selling for 12 in near mint. There's no sales of a 9.8. Pre-sale, the highest sale was last week at 20. It's now selling for 12. So right about ratio. So if I could find that for the 10 to 12 bucks, it's never going to go anywhere in price, but I'd love to have the Godzilla book in my collection. So that's my prediction on it. It's not going to go anywhere in price, but I want it. Pinapocalypse. Freaking book is 3 times on this list. This is the 1 in 15 pinup model. She's got where do we think this is? Whataburger? No, I see those fries. That's Checkers, baby. That's Checkers. That's a cool cover though. I like the way that's drawn. Her proportions are good. Okay, they're not over exaggerated. There's no part of her body feature that doesn't look like a human body. Like, why does her feet look like something that's off of a crab? It's not drawn by Liefeld. It's a nice cover. Good coloring on it. The red really pops. However, $45 on this one, which is much higher than the 1 in 10, going for like 12 bucks. This one, we're actually hitting 3 times ratio in this for this massive book. And this one, it could be a good enough cover to hold some value. I don't think it's going to hold the whole 45, but I wouldn't be surprised to find this one a year from now still selling for 30 to 35 because it doesn't look like any comic book cover I've ever seen. Dang it. There. So it doesn't look like any comic book cover that I've ever seen. It's not an homage. It doesn't remind me of any other cover. There is one other Pinapocalypse coming up that does remind me of a cover, and I think it's going to do itself some good because of it. But I'll tell you one thing, though. I see that cover, and that's not a pack of cigarettes there, right? No, I think that's a pack of ketchup for dunking. If that was cigarettes, I could actually get him in trouble. I like that cover. I do. It's simple and elegant at the same time, and it does remind me of like a pinup from the 50s or 60s. So, of course, God knows if she's eating that much food, she's not going to be a pinup girl for too much longer. I should know. So I would expect this to hit more like 30, 35 in the long run. Next up, we have that first cover appearance of Muse. Now, it doesn't have this, it's not as high a price as the first appearance, but man, can you imagine what Muse's first, if this was the cover on his first appearance? Whoa, this would be a great book. And it still is. It's in, if you know about the character, you know why this cover is so disturbing. Um, like I said, if they do this character right, woof. Sorry, I gotta get caught up here. They're up on the website. Sorry, derailing. You are not derailing the show. You're giving us information we didn't have, so that's cool. I don't see the comics. It's just the face. Yep. If I had read this earlier, I would have corrected it. Sorry. Yeah. Not only am I not putting the picture up on the screen the way I'm supposed to, I forgot to read the comments, which would tell me to put the picture up on the screen. You see how much I miss Greg? Jeez. He was a professional one. I'm just a talkative one. Anyway, I think this is going to have the same effect, that it's going to spike in the season as more people learn about this character, and as a result, this will, yeah, during the middle of the season, probably around April or so, be its highest point, and then start to go down. Price wise, we've got 178 for a 9.8, which is not, like I said, it's not as high as the 9.8 of the first appearance, which is 300. So it's a little bit of a better bargain. 9.6 is, you can't go by the price. Last sale of a 9.6 or a 9.4 was a long time ago, like last April, a 9.6. Near mint raws are going for 45. I would expect the 9.6 right now to sell for about 110. Well, somebody just paid 80 for a 9.0. That's crazy. I wouldn't, no, not for a 9.0. Not a 9.0 of a 1970 book, not is worth, but not something that came out in 2016. So yeah, just right now, there's a chance if you got it now, you might be able to turn a profit if it does have that peak in April. If it doesn't, it's already at its highest point. So I would, safest bet is don't buy it, wait for the season to be over, and then grab a copy or two. Yes, you did. You pulled it out of the Patreon box. Which reminds me, I see it says I own two. No, I don't own two anymore. I got to change that because I don't own two anymore. This book went to you. uh, Edit this one. No, where the heck is it? Oh, there's a little box. Delete. Okay. Now I go back. I have to make sure that my inventory is correct after I gave books away. I don't know if saw that though. It did say that the $45. So good one. By the way, this is a good time for you to sell it. Or use it in a trade if you go to a store, because that's in demand a lot. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Coming up number 6, we have Mark Spears Monsters, issue number 1, the cover A, Looking Down on You. Back in December, this was going for like 100 in a raw and 250 in a 9.8. Right now, raws are selling near mint plus and near mint regular selling for 255 to 265 in a raw. 9.8 selling for, last sale for 630. It says 9.9 for 1,400. I know that is incorrect. I know of two sales on eBay, one for 1,700, one for 2,000. And I did send the information to Shortbox yesterday, so for them to review and update their records. I sent them the link and everything too, so they could see that. Yeah, there are only 2,000 copies of this book. And I did check earlier today, and this is why. And I'm gonna go back to I'm gonna try to make sure I put my the book back. Okay, I'm gonna try. You go to find. You go and find Omega Man number 3. First appearance of Lobo. Very hot book, right? Go into eBay right now and look up how many 9.8s there are, how many books in general there are of all grades. What are there? 150 copies of that book on eBay. Now, granted, there's more than 150 people looking for the book, but the supply and demand is at least within striking distance. Go look at eBay for Monsters, Mark Spears Monsters, number one, cover A. Slabbed and raw. There's 3 copies. That's it. There's 4 if you there's one guy selling a whole collection, and that book is part of it, but it's like, I don't know, $3,500 or something crazy. Um, but I think there's 2 slabs, 1 raw, or 1 slab and 2 raw. It's 3 copies of that book. So that is why this book has gone up as much as it is. I think it actually could still continue to go up a little bit. But this is so far hitting the same idea as Something is Killing the Children, a book that nobody pre-ordered, nobody thought anything of, didn't get that many copies out there, and next thing you know, everybody wanted it. So, hi. Anyway, I think this book is here to stay, provided, of course, that the story still remains good. And from what I hear, people reading it, it's a general consensus is they like it. It's not doesn't only have the classic monsters; they're introducing some new ones. And if for any reason this thing is optioned or turned into a show, yikes! The one thing that I think is going to devalue it is the amount of homage covers. It really just screams Stray Dogs to me. Um, but it's not a limited series like Stray Dogs. If this just keeps going, this book could have some serious legs. So keep your eyes out. There is still a chance you can find one somewhere at like a garage sale, a flea market, back issue bin of an LCS that people don't go to that much. But yeah, even very fine copies for 75. Oh, that's back in December. I don't think you'd find that now. $255 is what you're gonna be paying for a raw, unless it has something wrong with it. And $600 is about the right. I do see. I think there's a buy it now right now for one for 550. There's another one for 599 for 9.8s. So you can definitely still. No, wait. I'm sorry. I recounted today. It was 10 copies that were up there. 3 were slabs, 7 were raw. But still, 10 copies is a lot less than every other book that's up there. That was the most that I had seen because I try to check it daily. It's a Monday. I forgot I checked. But still, it's only 10 copies at all, period, on eBay. You don't find them on Whatnot or Mercari or Instagram. Nobody has it to sell. That's the bottom line. Coming in number 5, we got Venom, issue number 37, Godzilla. And I don't see this. This has got to be, this is a variant copy. I never saw this. I would have gotten this. Venom, Godzilla, and you've got Miles and Spider-Man on the cover. That's a cool cover. How the hell did I miss that? I don't think I needed to see the spider on Godzilla because Venom is not a spider. He only put the spider when he was on Spider-Man. So he would have a spider logo on a Godzilla. Now, the price of this book, though, Near Mint Plus 42, Near Mint regular 27, 9.8s have gone up quite a bit, $100, because this must have been one that snuck through that I didn't know about. It's not a ratio variant; it's just a variant, and people didn't order it. I sure as heck didn't. I wish I did. Back in September, 103% current trend. It's gone up too fast for no reason other than the fact that it's a Godzilla cover. So I expect this to come back down. Speaking of derailing the show, do you think now is a good time to buy a graded Hulk 181 or GSX 1? If you're going to buy a GSX 1, don't wait too much longer. The Hulk 181, probably not a bad time. Maybe wait just a little longer for because people are still watching the Deadpool Wolverine. We're getting little snippets of news that we might be getting a trilogy. I would just wait for it to just fade, let the information to fade a little bit further back, and people not think about Wolverine so much. But when are people not thinking about Wolverine? The GSX one, the closer we get to any kind of casting news or anything with the X Men movies, the Mutant Saga, the more that book is going to go up. I'll be honest, that is the book that I'm looking for. That is, I mean, every day I'm at work going, when am I getting my W 2 so I can file my damn taxes so I can get my refund and go hunting for a GSX one? I want to get that book before all hell breaks loose in the market. So, yes, I think if you wanted to, right now, I would focus on the GSX one more than anything else because you got too many characters and the Mutant Saga is going to blow that book up. Casting news, everything is going to drive it crazy. So, let's just hope we're not bidding on the same one. I want to get this book, but I just think it's gone up too fast for no reason other than the fact that it's just a cool cover. And if this book came out a week ago and shot up this fast, I'd say this could continue going. But it came out in September and people are just now driving the price up. Yeah, I don't know why. So I'm going to hold off and wait for it. How many sales we got? Anything? 134 total recorded sales. Yeah, I'm going to hold off and wait for it. I may look for a 9.8 after the price comes down on that. Oops, sorry. What grade are you looking for, if you don't mind my asking? Mid-grade. Yeah. For me, the GSX one, I would rather have a 4.0 that had a nice looking cover than a 7.0 that was sun faded. And that's one of those books I can't stand that people put in their windows, the store windows, or people had it in their rooms hanging up right in the sunlight. Giant Size X-Men #1 and the Submariner #1. I remember those two books, even as a kid, being faded, like sun bleached horrifically. And that bothered me when I was a kid. It still bothers me to this day. So I got to see what my budget allows, but I guess I'm shooting for something around a 4, maybe a 5. But page quality and cover brightness is super important to me. I would love to go all the way up to a 7, but I don't think I can swing that. I have to go and double check the prices. And I know when everybody else gets their income tax returns, it's going to drive the prices up because everybody's shopping for it. How about you? What grade are you looking for? Okay. So I'm looking for this, but I think it's going to drop in price. Coming at number 4, we have Scarlet Witch, issue number 7, the Peach Momoko with It's Jeff on the cover. And now I didn't read It's Jeff, and I don't remember what the books look like too much because I sent them in and I can't refer to him. But did Jeff have feet and hands? Because this looks like a baby inside a baby shark costume instead of Jeff. I thought Jeff was actually a shark. Okay. He didn't have feet. He didn't have hands. Correct? Please, please, please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm trying to remember the covers. So I just don't know. That being said, this is kind of cool cover. I always thought that Peach Momoko's covers look the best when it's not just a washed out picture on a blank background. When there's something more to give it more of a three-dimensional look, even if it's just simple different colors with little splotches like this, it just fills the entire picture, and I like it. I love that picture, that face on Scarlet Witch. It's a really nice. I have no intention to buy the book because I'm not a big It's Jeff fan, and everything It's Jeff is hot because of the video game. Video game covers never last. Now that being said, it's only $4 for a near mint, $4 for a near mint plus. Don't bother with the $60 for a 9.8 unless you have to have one graded. Just go buy yourself a really nice, mint copy for $4, which is cover price. And you're not going to go wrong with that. Wow, I didn't see this variant. This is death. Yeah. Oh man, the art of Marvel television. Yeah, if you guys didn't watch Agatha all what wasn't Agatha all along? The Agatha series, Witch's Road. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I thought it was really well done and I recommend watching it. Um yeah, it is the cute book and for $4 you really can't go wrong. So, coming in at number 3. All right, we're going to end it now. This is it. Pin Apocalypse. I think I'm getting better at that. This is the 1 in 25 and this oh god, I want to say the artist name but it's just as hard to pronounce. Sveta Shubina. Whatever happened to like Bob Smith? Anyway, I really like this cover. The proportions though are not correct for a human being. um, I think if they were, she would be from foot to waist about 5 feet tall, and then the rest of it like a foot. Anyway, it's a really cool cover, and for some reason, it reminds me of the Pop Cola cover. Maybe it's just the color palette that's there. Um, the way that the word Foxy pops up there, and you still have enough space on here that if you found the artist, you could get an additional signature or even a small sketch that plays into it. It's a virgin cover, so that's nice. Now this book is trending downwards a little bit. Raw sold on the 25th for $200, but 2 days later, a near mint raw sold for $100. I see this to continue. This is still only a 1 in 25. I think that next week, I don't even think that I don't even think this is going to be on the list next week. But if it is, I say by next week we're already seeing it at 65 at 65 to 70, and it'll continue going down from there, probably finishing right about $40. So I'm probably not going to wind up hunting for this book unless I found a really big bargain for it. I mean, it's cool to look at, but it's not something that just makes me feel like I gotta have it. Number 2 on the list, we have would not have it wouldn't be a complete week unless we had at least one of the T's Marvel rivals on here. We got Storm, which came out 2 weeks ago, which you know, Visions didn't get any copies of them. Um, I'm not a fan of these type of covers, and I know some people like them. I just don't. She looks more demonic than anything else there. This is trending down, so it didn't go up from last when we got people pre-selling the 9.8s for 110, Near Mint Plus for 25 on and Near Mint regular for 29 at 25. So right about the 25 to $30 range. I'm sorry, I don't think it's going to hold. It's not a first appearance. It's just the artwork itself. It's not this artist's first artwork. So my guess is that this is going to settle around $15. I saw a GSX 6.5 sell for 1500 and a 7.0 sell for 1980. That's a big difference between those two prices. So I'm in that price range, and grade saw a Hulk 181 4.5 go for 2K and a 5.0 go for 2.125. So I'm in that price range. I will tell you this, be careful when you're buying the Hulk 181 because people automatically think that if it doesn't have the Marvel value stamp, you're going to see a green label. You can opt to take a lower grade and get a blue label. Okay, I have a blue label 180 that in the fine print says missing Marvel value stamp. So just make sure you read it and you're very careful about it. So, I mean, I just saw one person that bought a blue label book. It was a Punisher first appearance, Spider-Man 129. Didn't notice the top band said conserved grade. It's a blue label, but it's got the slightly different color top band. So you're blowing this kind of money, make sure that you are getting exactly what you want. So, um, Yeah, $480 difference between a 6.5 and a 7.0. God, I gotta think that that is maybe page quality. Maybe one was a white page and one was an off-white page or something. And also the presentation of that front cover. Good vibrant colors, good centering. That's gonna play a big part in it too. But I was looking at storm cover and couldn't find it anywhere. Yeah, same thing. I wanted to find it. I was just trying to find it. So I wanted to get 2 copies. I wanted to give one away on the show. But if I couldn't find 2 copies, so I had one for myself and one for the show, I wasn't going to buy it because personally, I just didn't have any interest. But I'm only going after one of them. It has to be in that range. Oh, okay. If they go over that price, I won't keep bidding or making offers. I'm staying strong with those prices. Absolutely. That's a great philosophy. I hope that you have the willpower to stick with that, unlike other people. Uh, um, just remember, if it all of a sudden it just shoot up out of your range, you still have roughly $2,000 that you could use for something else completely. I mean, you think about $2,000 would get you a really nice quality top 50 Golden Age Batman book. I mean, you can get something that just like you look at it and go, wow. There's so many books that you can get that will actually just make you go, I can't believe this is in my collection. So GSX1 is one of them, absolutely. But there's a lot of books. So don't overspend. Put it towards something that just makes you always smile whenever you see it. So you've got the right philosophy, and I'm just confirming that, yep, you're there. Okay, so the Natis, I think this is going to drop more. I don't even see. Remember all the other ones that were on the list, the Magic and everything else. They're not here anymore. They're and they're dropping. I expect this to continue and do the same. And coming in at number one, a brand new number one, wasn't on the list last week. Remember last week was the Canto. Canto's gone. I think this book that's on here may be on the list, but further down. I don't think it's going to completely disappear. We've got Spawn number 356 from September, but who drew it? Mark Spears. And everything in the world right now is Mark Spears. And you can see the colors and the way he drew. You're like, yep, he was getting ready for monsters. It's funny. It's like it's not not high on definition. It's almost kind of sloppy, but at the same time, not sloppy. You know, um, it almost reminds me a little bit of what's the painting that has the Scream, where it's not a human being, and you're like, what were they drawing? But whatever they drew is exactly what they wanted to. This is cool, and the colors down here. I would love to see this in a black light poster. All right. So now that we've extolled its virtues, what are we selling at here, guys? Well, 9.8 sold for $60 on the 17th, and near mints were selling for 25 to 28 within the last couple of days. Again, this is not a first appearance. This is not a key issue. This was just a variance, not a ratio variance, just a variance from Spawn 356. And it's going up because everybody is scooping up Mark Spears art. Just like a year ago, everybody was looking for Dave Stevens art. Well, Dave Stevens art is holding value, but not like it was a year ago. And I think that's going to happen to the Mark Spears stuff. I don't know how many people ordered this book, what the quantity is that's out there. I'm willing to bet it's more than Mark Spears Monsters #1 cover A, though. But if you can find one for $25, I don't think you're going to go too wrong with it. I think as more and more people are jumping on this bandwagon, this might be one of those books that does go up a bit. So I think this could shoot up to $40 for a raw, but in the long run, we'll come back down to around 20 to right about what it's selling at now. All right. So that is the CovrPrice top 20. I know it says to top 10, but I've got the runners up and we hit them all. I know one person left in the comments last week that they would like me to review the top 50 books. Imagine how long that show would be. But Cover Price only gives me 20 books to work with, so that's what I review. If they decided to open this up to 50, uh, well, maybe I'll just run a longer show. At that point, I may have to incorporate to enlist one of you guys to join me on this show and help me go through this list. If anybody's ever interested in doing that, just hit me up on Instagram, Team Ohana Family, and we will, maybe see about getting you on as a co-host on this show and discussing with me and telling me how wrong I am. All right, so now I got to pick a boom and a bust book that I think has the best chance to be worthwhile in the long run for investability, or at the very least, the one that is going to lose the least amount of value. And then the bust, the one that I think is the worst one that you could possibly invest in. Now, I didn't see any in here that just made me roll my eyes and scream and go, "Oh my god, I can't believe people are spending this kind of money." We usually have a couple of those. JP's Budget Collecting calls them straight up dumpster fires. I don't see any dumpster fires, but I also don't see anything that's really investable. Um, long term, not next 6 months, year, whatever. I gotta make a choice here, huh? Well, I'm going to play it as safe as humanly possible. I'm going to pick my boom, the one that I think that has the best chance to retain value, as the Scarlet Witch Peach Momoko one. It's only $4, so I don't see it going below $4. That's the cover price. And be honest, that'd be a cool book to get signed. And from what I understand, if you catch her at a show, she signs for free. So that'd be a nice one to get signed. And maybe even if you have a friend or a kid or a grandkid or a niece or a nephew or whatever that plays the game that has its Jeff, this would be a good book to get them. It's a wholesome cover, and why not? So I'm copping out. I'm picking, taking the safe route and saying a $4 book is not going to lose value. Now, which one is the bust? There aren't too many on here, but I got to go with, I got to go with this one. I'm going to go with number 18. It's the Mark Spears Monsters issue number 1, third print. This is a 1 in 20 ratio. It's an homage to Nightmare on Elm Street. 120 is not that high, and it's going for $62, $68. I'm sorry, I see this coming all the way back down to 20 in the long run. It's just too many people by January were buying Mark Spears Monsters. Stores have multiple copies of this, and it's not that great a cover that makes me say I gotta have it. And they have a lot of homage covers that I do gotta have. I want that Jaws. I got the 601. There's others as well. This is not one of the ones that I feel like I have to have. So for $60, I wouldn't be interested. And I think this is going to drop quite a bit in the long run. I'd say it's going to lose most of its value and wind up being around 20, right about ratio at about $20. Unfortunately. And I don't want to say that about a Mark Spears Monsters book, but that's the way I see it. So I'd love to hear what you guys think as far as what's a good and which one do you think on this list is your best investment? Which one do you think is your worst? I would like to do a quick little shout out again to Dagger Cards, who is raising money. He's riding his bike in Canada for cancer. This is the second fundraiser he's done. He almost hit his goal of $2,500 in the first go round. We're shooting to try to get, pushing to try to help get him there. You'll find the link in the description of this video, and when you go there, it will look just like this. You may have even heard other channels talking about this, like let me see. I know John's Comics for Kids gave on this. I know Rob's Fat Sacks of Comics has already talked about this, and he gave it during the last run as well. I'm pretty sure. Oh goodness gracious! I can't. DJ Links, I think, gave on this as well. Again, we want to try to help him get to his goal. So if you have extra $5, and you feel like shooting it over there, It'd be greatly appreciated. You're helping to, just like on the comics curing cancer, you're helping to fight cancer. You're a superhero. And a man that rides his bike in Canada in January, that's a superhero. All right. So I'm going to wrap this up. Um, I've got an unboxing video that will be airing to the general public tomorrow. It is available right now for our YouTube members to see, including an AOK, which I got. And um, you want to see what my reaction is, just make sure tomorrow you tune into it. Uh, Wednesday is New Comic Book Day. We have our um, giveaway that we always have, but instead of being new comics this week because there were no books there, I picked up a few Silver Age, sorry, not Silver Age, Bronze Age Daredevils to give away. And instead of whoever wins it, they are not going to have to pick which books they want. I got 5 books there, and whoever wins it is going to get all 5 books. If they're outside the United States, I'm just going to send them $15, like I always do on PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, whichever. If you're in the United States and you choose the money, you can have that instead, of course. And these will then just go into the Patreon get together poll box. So make sure that you tune in on Wednesday. The link is already up for you to mark it. It's 8 p.m. on Wednesday. We're going to talk about the books I picked up, give away some books. Again, have some more fun. If you want to enter for the giveaway, you have to watch last week's video. Drop a comment. Please keep it clean, keep it comics. I have to have that that comment for the random comment picker to pull your name. Make sure you subscribe and click like. That's it. You're watching the video. One little thumbs up just to help the channel grow, right? And we get to 1,500 subscribers. I got a nice Hulk 102 I want to give away. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do it. Help us get to that 1,500 mark so we can give there's 2 books I want to give away on the 1,500 mark. I'm going to pull a random comment to give away 1,500, and during that live stream, I'm going to give away a first print copy of Ronin #1. See, got some good books. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. I want to say thank you once again. Please, like I said, like, subscribe, drop a comment down below. Click on those notifications so you know when more videos are dropping. And we want to hear from you. Okay. What else would you like to see from the show? Tell me what you'd like, and we can try to make it happen. All right. Other than that, though, until I see you in the next video, mahalo.